back on the ferry to Buenos Aires in Argentina after a few days in Colonia del Sacramento in Uruguay. On a different ferry this time, it's smaller and bumpier. Alice is playing some Disney game.
I lost.
Okay. You struggling? Walking tour. What have you learned?
Politics and history.
Line of squares, or this one, or this one. The thing is that during the decade of the 30s, the state decided to expropriate and demolish all the buildings that were in this line of squares and transform it into a really wide avenue to link the south with the north and transform it into like the main artery of the city. So actually, if you take a look at the size and shape of each piece, you're gonna see that it has the same size and shape for their neighbors, all their squares around, which proves that all this was totally full of buildings. And well, as I told you, they were all expropriated and demolished, except two. The Ministry of Social Wealth, with the mural of Evita that we've just seen, and the Embassy of France, the very beginning of the avenue, that didn't really interrupt the traffic, so they left it because it's a very, very nice old residence. All the rest, as I said, were demolished to give place for the avenue. Today there's a highway that goes south and a highway that goes north. So it's basically a place where you can come and cross the whole city from south to north. And it's the name of the Independence Day, 9th of July 1816, that's where the name of the avenue comes from. So once the avenue was finished, they needed to add a monument in it, like an icon for the avenue. So in just 60 days, they invented the obelisk. They created the obelisk, which is not a very... they didn't think a lot about that sculpture, I think. It's not very original. There are many obelisks all around the world. It's an Egyptian traditional shape, so it's actually lacking a bit of love, I personally believe. But what makes it nice is the fact that it's in the very center of the city, so it is used by politicians for awareness campaigns for the government, by the government, or artists for artistic interventions. So sometimes there's something going on over the monument. My favorite was in the year 2005. In the one they covered the monument with the biggest condom of the history because of the obvious phallic shape, symbolizing fighting against AIDS and other sexual transmission diseases. So instead of having an obelisk, we had a gigantic condom for a few days in the middle of the city. So well, sometimes they paint something, or they write something over it, or they do something with the shape. It's like the icon of the city center.
First full day in Buenos Aires. Caught a subway, first subway of the trip, to Recoleta. We're now at the Recoleta Cemetery, which is the largest outdoor display of artwork / mausoleums.
Yeah.
Mausoleums like crypts in the world. It's pretty creepy. The artwork is really cool.
So Evita.
We saw Evita. We saw Evita's tomb and her family. The Duarte family. Not sure why you'd want to knock on a crypt. I think this one's fallen off. For the upkeep of a crypt or mausoleum here, it's $50,000 US a year. So people are spending more in their death here than most people make in a year in their life. This one here, for example, this family have basically got the whole church built to themselves. The Familia Lopez Vida.
I think it's the other side actually.
Oh, let's have a look at the other side. Oh yeah. Dorrego Ortiz Azivaldo. Creepy.
This is a flower given to Argentina
2002.
in 2002 because of the recession.
It's meant to signify the blooming and things can get better. And in the sun, it's meant to be solar powered and open it up. But
It's broken.
so think of that what you will, really. It just stays closed all the time.
Think of that as you will.
Think of that as you will. Think of that as you will. It's the direct feed video installation of Sky TV. Deep. Power walking to find a bank. Da, 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 da. Mercado Santalmo Domingo, the Sunday market in Santalmo. It's like 2 hours worth of market walking. It's so big. The story was that all the rich people got yellow fever. Well, there was a mass outbreak of yellow fever when there was migrants came over. So they pretty much just left the houses with all the really expensive goods in it and just moved to another part of Buenos Aires.
Which is
Recoleta. And then a few years later then another bunch of migrants came over and found this like kind of abandoned place with like marble tables and chandeliers and everything. So they decided they didn't really want that kind of stuff, so they sold it outside in the market, and that's how this market started.
It's huge.
It's so big.
sería 6.
£3. Goodbye. Say bye-bye to Buenos Aires. What do you think about the most executive bus we've been on in a long time? You've got so much leg room. You can dance. You've got leather seats. We've actually got seat belts. The TVs work. Air conditioning works.
Nothing's cracked.
Nothing's cracked, nothing's broken. All the windows are intact. It's a miracle.
Hallelujah.
And we got breakfast and dinner, and the chairs go all the way back, and we got sweets.
It'll go sweet.
Fantastic.
Goodbye, will be Tuesdays.
What you playing? Disney Blitz? How's your new necklace? The Celtic Infinity Ring.